for Salvagers in 4.6. So there's been some scanning updates that have come up more recently. There are new missions for Salvagers, but in the more recent patch, they have added something new to them that is unexpected. So yeah, once again, let me know your feedback on this if you like these type of videos and stuff like that, and let's get into it, and let's get into game and check it out. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the contracts and show what's changed. There is a new mission here, Adagio Holdings in need of Salvagers. This is your intro mission. Your original intro mission for salvaging from Adagio is still there. That's this Avenger Titan, 1,000 fee. You go there, you either scrape enough RMC to finish the mission, or you fracture it. This does continue on like previous missions where you'll get the, I believe it's like a 2,000 fee, 5,000 fee, 10,000 fee. After that, where you get larger and larger and larger ships. Your unverified missions are still the same, but you do not have this like intro mission for the tar pits. So let's take a look at the intro mission and what's changed. What's kind of interesting here is, let's see, does it say what you're doing in the mission? It doesn't. So we'll read it out. About us. As the leading procurer and distributor of salvage rights, Adagio Holdings are now looking to expand into the acquisition and distribution of salvageable materials, both small and large-scale businesses, of salvageable materials to both large-scale businesses. So about this job, as a part of this initiative, we need keen-eyed contractors capable of identifying salvageable materials, efficiently stripping them, and delivering the recycled material composite and salvage components to us. And salvaged components. This introductory contract will require you to head over to Mining Claim and strip an abandoned ship approved for salvage. So what this is this Avenger Titan mission with an extra step. So let's accept the mission and we'll just see, all right, locate salvage claim. So we're going to go to the salvage claim and we'll see how things progress as we move on. All right, we've made it to the mining claim. There is a bug, though, where you lose the inability to move your ship sometimes after flying, and it puts you very close to it. There we go. It puts you very close to it if you're if you directly quantum travel to it. But as you can see, when I lock onto it, it's an Avenger Titan. It's the exact same mission that you would take if you did the original intro Adagio mission. So, nothing crazy here. Okay? Now, you can complete this mission by going into fracture mode and fracturing the Avenger Titan in the original Adagio one. This one is asking for something else. Remember, they wanted RMC. So I'm using a cinch on the one side. I'm actually going to press Alt-D and swap to the abrade on the other side. So we do this a little bit faster and a little bit more efficiently. What I fear is that we may not get that full 1 RMC. So I got to be careful here. Yeah, I'm actually going to switch back to just dual cinches. Let's just ensure that we get the full 1 RMC before swapping. I want to make sure that we don't run out. After you get what you need for the mission, which I know to be 1 RMC, since I've already done this, then you can kind of progress through this part a little bit faster. So now we have the 1 RMC. All right, cool. Let's swap to the abrade again. We should be done in no time. Bam. Finish salvaging. This is where the old mission would finish. And you can continue to take more RMC. You can grab construction materials, whatever you want. But if you look up at the top right, the mission has progressed to another step. This is what's changed. This is the major difference. Is, all right, we sent you to this wreck, but we want the RMC that you are salvaging. Now, again, just to reiterate here, in case nobody noticed this before, this is PTU. These are brand new missions. It currently is offering no reward. My current, I guess, UEC bank is at 14,913,815. We are going to put this RMC at the station they're asking for it, which is Hurston L2, which is going to be a problem because on the PTU, Hurston and Microtech are really not in great shape. As you can see, it takes like an hour to calculate just to even get to it. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, and I do, the location that the initial salvage mission will be at is the location of the drop-off, which is really nice. I'm just waiting for the game to recognize that I've quantum traveled. This is the current PTU experience, which isn't great. And we'll head over to the station, and then we'll land. All right, so we've landed at the station. All right, we're going to eject the 1 SCU of cargo that we got. I'm waiting for the doors to open, so that's what that annoying noise is. When the door closes, it stops. And I imagine this will take some time just because the Hurston server is not very great. Okay, there it goes. So we've landed. We're ejecting our RMC. Hopefully. There it is. Whew. And we're just going to throw it in the freight elevator. And we're going to complete the mission. So this is, I think, a really nice addition to the Adagio missions. It feels really good. It feels like what a salvage mission should be. You know, now with larger missions, maybe it'll hopefully give more RMC. We'll see what happens. This is the intro mission, and we'll see what comes after that. Okay, there it goes. So we sent it down. Lots of server performance issues. The mission should complete shortly, and then when we do, we're going to see what happens next. I hope. We'll see. Again, Hurston and Microtech servers in Stanton are horrendous, as well as Levski, so that's how the PTU is going right now. All right, we completed it. We'll give it a second, and we'll open our Mobiglass. Obviously, there's some rep associated with Adagio. What I don't know will happen is what happens when we hit applicant, junior contractor, and things like that. And the reason I don't know is now we have more salvage missions on the list. Once again, if I do this Avenger Titan mission, we will get the next steps of salvage missions that you're all aware of. But look at what the next missions are asking for. We have salvager needed, small supply of RMC/components. And the only thing that it's asking for is, first off, 0 money. We have the exact same money in our account, so that one paid 0. So this is all very early. But what we're trying to do is get a sense of what they're trying to do. And here's the big thing. They're asking for us to go out and find a shield generator and turn it in here, right? This next one is the exact same mission that we just did, just looking for RMC. Then this one is looking for RMC and components. Now, if you look, there's no RMC being asked for here. There's no RMC being asked for here. So again, this mission doesn't look correct. Here's the problem. Is the only way to complete this mission is to find a size 1 drive on one of your ships and a size 1 jump drive on one of your ships and remove it. because you can't remove the jump drive from a salvaged quantum drive. They stay connected together. I'll just include the footage that I found to find this out while I'm talking about this. When I did try to put down a salvaged quantum drive with a jump drive attached to it, we were hoping that it would reduce, it would, check this box off, the quantum drive, and then check one of the jump drives off. Mine was asking for 3 jump drives. That didn't work. So, what do we do? So I've accepted one of these missions, flown over to Microtech L3, dealt with every server issue possible to get here, and I have delivered 2 ships to this hangar. Now, this is kind of the problem with these missions, is I can just unequip a jump drive and a module from each one if I wanted to, right? Save the changes. Head over to the freight elevator. And I'm not really salvaging when I'm doing this, am I, right? Send the freight elevator down. And we won't have any servers here, luckily. And then there's our 2 jump drives and our quantum drive, right? We'll send them up the elevator. And let's see what happens. I actually haven't tested this yet. The only thing I've tested is actually trying it on with a salvage ship. So we found a salvageable ship. Oh my god, it works. Okay. That's horrible. That's really bad. So, right now, this is like just feedback bug fix stuff. The only way to actually complete these missions is to steal components from your own ships and then claim them to get the components back. But if you're a salvager, I mean, I don't know who wouldn't be excited to actually earn reputation with Adagio, knowing that at some point, there might be rep-based rewards, blueprints, all sorts of cool things like that. So to me, this is extraordinarily exciting for the future of salvaging. Salvaging and mining are my favorite, things to do in the game, careers. I think they're super fun. I love how tactile they are. I love how chill they are. And to be able to kind of participate in the game in that way, I think is fantastic. Okay, but that's not the only change. So we're going to hop back in our ship and we're going to check that out. Because if we go ahead and we look once again at the mission that we just did, which I'm assuming we'll get another version of it. Let's see. There it is. So again, this one's asking for 2 quantum drives and 1 jump drive. But if we read here, there's a new change that's in this patch as well. We recommend searching for wreckage at Lagrange points. I'm at a Lagrange point. Or you could purchase a salvage claim from us in your contract manager. This request probably won't be easy to satisfy as our normal contracts, even with the amount of ships buzzing through our system as populated as Stanton. So don't be surprised if you have to put a bit more effort into hunting down what's needed, right? So it's what I think they're trying to imply without saying that NPCs and players are different. Hey, you might want to go to a place and salvage a player ship, right? I think that's what they're trying to imply here. Now, what I think the top thing is implying is something entirely different, and we're going to go check out what that is right now. Okay, so we're in our ship outside of Microtech L3 where we just dropped off the goods, and one of the biggest changes that have happened in the last couple of patches in the PTU is, number one, they've extended the range in which you can see harvestables and minables and things like that. So when I hit tab and ping here, you're going to see a whole lot of things show up. That's another one of the changes as well. They also changed the way the panels work. This is both a really good change and a really bad change. I feel like a lot of us panel salvagers, I love to salvage panels, are going to hate this one. Everything that you see on the screen is either a mineable rock or a salvageable rock. If we go into the scanning mode, you'll see the 4,000 at the top there. 4,000 indicates a mineable. And if I can get it to show a 2,000, there you go. A 2,000 indicates a salvageable panel of some kind. They're calling it wreckage now, which again is why we're out here. Because if we look at the contracts that we were looking at, we recommend searching for wreckage at Lagrange points. Okay. Now, just for quick reference, if you're seeing something at 20,000 kilometers when you first ping, that is 100% a rock to mine. If you're seeing them at around 15K for the first time, that is 100% salvage to salvage. So we're going to go to those as we get closer. We're not going to see a whole group of panels anymore. We're going to see one icon that says debris. And it's just going to be one little piece of wreckage. So for people who loved to do salvage panels for RMC, and that's how you made money, if this doesn't change, it's dead. Because that right there is all the salvage that you could take off of that thing. It's done. And I will tell you, I have salvaged and scanned for hours and checked a lot of these marks. And everything is small. Some are bigger than the one that we just did, slightly. But everything is individual and everything is small. So there is no more clumps. If I was to give feedback, I would absolutely beg for them to change this back to something more condensed groups of salvage. If you guys have done, I don't know, the QV station and the wrecks that are there where you pick up the key, I would love to just see wrecks of ships and pieces of them. I will also notify you at this next one of a change that is, well, not a change. The lack of a change, I should say. Oh, we just ran into it. So let's slow it down there. Grab it with our tractor beam. Okay. Now, I think the worst change of this is very clear and something that I really would have hoped to see addressed. Number one, this specific wreckage is very difficult to grab the RMC off of, but are you ready for this? You would think the new wreckage, you would be able to disintegrate or fracture. And you can't do either. You would have hoped they would have integrated all of the salvage aspects with this wreckage. But they have not. They have created new items, but made them like the old legacy items that are not good. So that's a very disappointing aspect. So the two disappointing aspects are there's tons of tiny pieces of salvage that make collecting RMC incredibly tedious and not enjoyable. And then you can't disintegrate or fracture them, and they are pieces of ships. These are definitely pieces of ships. I'll go to the next wreck over here. Little piece of wreckage right down here. We'll go to this one. We'll just go a little bit slower this time. We've been moving a bit too fast. It's like, for whatever reason, whoever designs the gameplay or signs off on the design, like, this is the first time I've seen debris that's like relatively close to each other. But another thing that you might have just seen is, I think I caught it for a second. When I overlaid that debris, it was yellow. I may have salvaged this debris already. Let's see, is it green? Yeah, it's green. This is an incredibly tiny piece as well. But again, cannot fracture it. Cannot disintegrate it. So the only thing we could do is salvage it for RMC. Which would be fine. This is a fairly decent-sized piece. This one's got a good amount of RMC on it. Right? So some of the pieces, as you can see, are better than others. This one's a fantastic piece. There's still 60% of it left, is what it's saying on the screen above. So there's probably two sides. So that's a really nice piece. Let's see, are there two sides to it? Yes. This is one of the only pieces I've seen so far that have two sides as well. Most of the pieces, you only salvage one side. Right, so that's really nice. There was about 1 SCU of RMC on this piece. Okay? But once again, what happens when somebody else is salvaging in this area? They're going to travel all the way over here, and they're going to find my salvaged piece. And it's not going to get despawned. And it's not going to... I'm not going to be able to turn it into construction material salvage at all. Because, again, even though I've salvaged most of it, I can't fracture it. And I can't disintegrate it. Here's one of the best examples of the salvage. It's an engine piece. These are all ship parts. Okay? So these all theoretically would be disintegratable and fracturable in any other situation if they were on an individual ship, right? So just a weird choice there. Very odd. Real quick before we finish, though, again, I've checked at least 100 of these now and have not found a ship, a big group of pieces, nothing. Just all individual small pieces. That last one that we found there was the biggest one I found, which was about 1 SCU, right? Some tips for people that have performance issues when all the UI elements come up. When you're scanning, keep it around 22 degrees. And even then, a lot of things will show up, but a lot less things will show up. So only one item showed up when I went to 11 degrees. You'll see things gradually disappearing here, and you'll get a lot less items showing up on screen, and you could focus a little bit more on individual, like, directions and things like that, since there's salvage everywhere, and you could save yourself some performance. So, once again, a lot of pieces missing. I think we're at, like, 50% of whatever the work they're doing is or needs to be done. So what I'm assuming here is that we're I don't know, like, again, I think about 50%. If we were finding ships that had wrecks, that had components in them, if CIG did a little bit of effort, maybe it's a lot, but a little bit of effort to go through all the previous missions and make sure that they include ships that have physicalized components on them in each one of those missions, that would be a little bit more towards the sandbox element of the game. Right now, there is way too many ways to complete salvage missions without salvaging. buy the components yourself, but we don't know what the reward is, and the reward will probably not be worth the squeeze of buying the component. Find it at a QV station, find it in a contested zone, find it at Hathor. So that's kind of salvaging, but not really. What salvagers want is they want to go out with their salvaging ship and use it regularly. So we don't want to spend a ton of time scanning and searching or traveling from each wreck to the one to the next. We want to find a good wreck that we spend a bit of time at and that we come and go to, or we have people come and pick up cargo for us and drop off, right? We can then share our mission with somebody, and the person who's running the logistics of our salvage operation can pull the cargo off my ship or pull the cargo off that ship, deliver the components. I can make the RMC, they could deliver it, right? So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that are missing, but the positive thing that I want you guys to see is we're spending a lot less time looking for where we're going for cargo, for salvage, for minables, things like that. Negative side, it's a little bit difficult right now because it's hard to get the number to pop up regularly to tell between what is a mineable and what's not. So I gave you the tips there. There's actually a use to narrow your field with salvaging now significantly when looking for wrecks as well. Another negative is all the wrecks are too small. We want things clumped together and all that stuff. So there's a lot of good here. I think this is going to be incredibly fun. We're way too far away from just like the sandbox part of the game, which is I leave that hangar of wherever my ship is stored. I go out and I just interact with the world, and I'm not really doing much in terms of missions. I think this mission is a really nice salvaging mission that does that. Is like, hey, Adagio really wants to get a few items. We're looking for quantum drives. We're looking for shields. We're looking whatever they're doing. I assume there's going to be a lot more missions than this as well that are looking for all sorts of different items, maybe of certain qualities, levels, things like that in the future. So I see the future of this. It sounds really cool. Imagine earning rep for Adagio and earning a blueprint for better salvage heads, right? I could do this all day. That would be super fun. And you could see that this is like laying the groundwork for that. But there's a lot to be said from the player base of like, ooh, but the way you're doing it is not so fun. So, okay, that was the video. Let me know what you guys think about it. Leave a comment, like, all that stuff. I've never done anything like this before. So let me know what you guys think and if I should do more of it. And yeah, that is the new salvaging stuff so far in 4.6.